Good day, everybody. Brian here, quantlabsnet.com. All right, so let's talk about FPGA with HFT jobs. Specifically, Optiver seems to be one of the bigger HFT shops that uses it. We're going to have some peel the onion theories um, that might blow your mind, blow the lid off of how stuff's done. I think in the world of researching online, it's very hard to hide secret sauce stuff. So let's get into the actual language here, miserable language called Verilog. I don't know if it's Verilog, it might be something else that Optiver uses. So here at eFinancial Careers, this article was brought to me by my usual source. It's been very good on a lot of areas, thanks to him. So here, a few days ago, we find this article here, the new hot interns at electronic trading firms code in a miserable language. We don't know that, right? These are HFT shops that are secretive. If you've not seen my most recent videos on the top 5 firms for both London and New York, Optiver's in there. So let's see what they've got. So they have internships here using FPGA. Firms old and new are offering entry-level roles in the field, but they come with challenges and risks. So if you've not you should watch some of my prior videos on this subject of FPGA. FPGA in my time 10 years ago was usually done on MATLAB, but things have evolved, gone more open source with what I'm about to show you. So hang on for that. So FPGAs are programmable circuits offering similar power and low latency speeds to GPUs, more customize, more customability for niche purposes. Obviously, high frequency trading is one of them, and here it's done in Verilog. There's another language as well. There's two main FPGA boards over the last 10 years. One of them was taken over by Intel Xilinx. So Verilog, as an example, miserable and Baroque. So this recruiter here, CRX, says FPGA have become more trendy over the past few years. This has been more than just the past few years. It's been out there for 10, 15 years. This is where a lot of the higher name brand HFT shops are going, as I've hinted with the ones in both London and New York videos I posted, I just talked about. So the two specific ones we're talking about, Jane Street and Optiver, uh, building teams and hiring entry-level engineers. Hedge fund Cube Research saying it's building a new FPGA function and hiring interns and graduates from it. What do they work on? There's an October blog post about Optiver intern handed a blank slate to design the interface between FPGA and the software, sending them in bursts of data. So we'll maybe be able to look at that in a minute. Intern says that the work reduced memory utilization by a task of 80%. So you're no longer relying on something like the core kernel of a Linux. You're eliminating a lot of the jitterness that comes with that. But here with the hardware, you're able to eliminate that with FPGA. Rather than computer science or physics students in the FPGA roles, they're going after electrical engineers. These engineering interns at Optiver, for example, have studied electrical engineering. So they're specifically targeted from schools at MIT, UNSW, and Cambridge. So this one that they're talking about came from Carnegie Mellon. That's another big university as well. FPGA can be lucrative. Jane Street FPGA roles alone pay 250K. H1B Visa salary database, where so now also you can see here Citadel Securities pay an FPGA engineering lead 350. Now remember that's just the base salary, so they could be probably double that 700K as a lead on these platforms. Game changing FPGA engineers, very few and far between. So what I'm going to show you is going to lead you down this path if you want to go down it. Compensation pretty much no limit. Good news, FPGA careers, outside a few major firms with established teams, you can run the risk of brought into the firm that's building into a FPGA team only for management to get cold feet and scrap it. Let me repeat that. You can risk of being caught up in a firm that's building the FPGA team only for management to get cold feet and scrap it. Look, they've been doing this for years. I think they've been doing it for a long time, very quietly. But more and more people are kind of talking about it. And as I said, you cannot hold back the footprint of what people use. It only takes one person to do the link between an employer like Optiver and what they use. So I just dropped a hint there. So hang on. Upside is you fall back on a career in big tech. More FGA rules are out there. They pay high. Technical bar in is definitely lower. Entry level system engineers at Apple pay up to 183. Okay, so dig, 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 you will, and you will find lots of little nuggets. All right, so in here, let me show you what we're looking at right here. The keyword Argonne FPGA. Now, if I showed you generally, I can't go into specifically what Optifer puts in their job description, but you will not find Argonne. Okay, Argonne. Let me repeat that. Argonne. So in here you'll see all the usual uh, descriptions. See, you cannot find Argonne in here at all. It's just nowhere to be found. Now, if I put in, I don't know, Verilog, same as well. So you can see here they put in Verilog as well, system Verilog with C++. So C++ is still important. So probably what it sounds like they're doing is they're taking a lot of their C++, C systems and moving it over into this Argonne. So this is a little more specific, but generally these job descriptions are very vague. So again, Argonne. What is Argonne? So Argonne, from what I'm seeing, uh, has a history here at the CERN Research Institute over at in Switzerland. FPGA firmware design and verification for Atlas Liquid Argon Kilometer. Like this is beyond me, man. Trigger processor. Okay, so let's see where Argon comes into play here. Uh, so, anyways, I'm not going to get into this, but I'm peeling back the onion most likely when it comes to Optiver and what they're using with their FPGA solution, even though you're not supposed to know about it. And this did not come out as a leak. Okay, I just want, if anybody over there at Optiver uh, is watching this, I can guarantee you that there was no leak. This is simple internet uh, patterns that other people can find. So, what is Argonne Design A Logic? So, there is now a repository on this for ASIC or FPGA using Verilog boards. Okay, so if you are wanting these type of jobs, you now know where to look. Okay, so if you go into Argonne Design, open source repository of the team that used to work at the electronics software design consultancy, Argonne Design at Cambridge. Okay, so that's probably a spinoff from somewhere in Cambridge University spinoff that Optiver has decided most likely to use for their solution to use FPGA boards. Okay, so you can see most likely a lot of it's Scala, JavaScript, Python, Scala, Haskell, and Visual C. Okay, so now you know this. It's out there. And here's a link leading into this. So, question is, where do we go with this? Well, uh, this is a sort of thing I don't know if I'm going to talk about anymore. Who knows where this could go? I may be asked to delete this video and all the content that goes with it, but there's no reason to. It's an open source project. As I said, nobody at Optiver or anyone connected to Optiver came along and kind of hinted this. at all. So, anyways, if you want to learn more about this HFT stuff, we got this book out now, C++ HFT ebook for how these kind of firms build out their whole operations in C++. And now we're just discovering about some of the secret sauce stuff at Optiver. Again, I can't directly link that, but that's what I'm thinking. If you want to be part of a free community, just go under more group. Again, this is at quantlabsnet.com. Go under the group here, and you'll find this, the quantlabsnet.com public group. Boom. And I'll put that in the description of the video. If you want to talk to me more about your goals and all this fun stuff, I do offer uh, 15 minutes, $17. Usually goes a lot longer for people that are involved in that. You can reach me here at Book Online, and we're going to talk about whatever you want. All right. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Hello, everybody. Brian here yet again from quantlabsnet.com. Another source sent over this article again from efinancialcareers.com. Brevan Howard AI spinoff is using LLM to turn analysts into quants. I got to tell you, I'm not sure if I like this idea. It's like turning carpenters into plumbers because of a piece of technology. Doesn't mean they're actually good at what they do. It's more like, why don't you just rely on AI um, as well? So, a hedge fund AI platform spinning them out as fintech. Now, there's a lot of people looking for jobs in fintech. There's no line about it. Bin Ren, CEO of a letter camp, spoke at FinTech Connect. He declared that LLMs will cause a quantum leap in productivity. I don't deny that. He runs this thing called SigTech, which is spun out of Brevan Howard's systematic investment group back in 2019, and implements multi-generative investment co-pilots called Magic. Describes the team as AI Avengers to assist in the investing process. It's very interesting to see what some of these big firms are doing, but this company, Brevan Howard, did not come up in my top 5 HFT firms for both New York and London. But doesn't, I mean, I know about them, but doesn't mean that they're worthless. Very important to really understand this. So this group uh, was split into 2 modalities: Ren, numbers, and text. Quants worked in the former, analyst and worked in the latter, and infrequently the two shall mix. I'm going to show you something down in a minute. I'm not sure if it's connected, uh, but it's interesting. AI of the past has helped automate processes, but Ren is aware from allowing employees to branch into new fields with a lack of awareness of tacit knowledge. And this is again true where Gen AI excels. Working prompt engineering, eliciting good answer out of an LLM is super capable. Hedge fund Man Group staff encouraged to ask its in-house chatbot, and again, recognize in-house. Now it's going to come from some source, probably OpenAI, Google, I don't know. So you can ask an in-house chatbot to explain how it came to the conclusion that they can see and correct any hallucinations. Okay, no better practice yet for AI. However, Ren says nothing is a substitute when you are spending 10 hours experimenting with LLMs. People spend 10 months, maybe 10 years with what is now LLMs. Most analogies, AI is like an intern. In some ways, it's better. Oof, that's an insult to interns. A lot of them are pretty valuable. AI bots, never emotional and infinitely patient, where it has a great virtue to have. That's another way of saying he wants to replace people to have jobs. Agentic structure, AI can collaborate in ways that are inconceivable for humans. Let me just repeat. I've seen the so-called experts say that we're only 2 to 3 years off of the great singularity where AI machines will outpace human research and engineering. 3 years away, 3 to 5 years. AI can collaborate in ways that are inconceivable for humans, creating its own language to communicate information to each other when English is too inefficient. Okay, so let me show you what I've discovered here, if there is a relationship here. Um, so in this, there is this matrix versus static quant LLM. So right here, the I matrix quant were introduced a couple of months back. Okay, so this is on Reddit where people from the inside of these firms go out and blab to the world what they're doing anonymously. Okay, so don't stop to think we can't see it, but we can. Okay, um, so looking around for Commander R. I've heard of Commander R. I just can't remember where. GGUF. I came across his repo in the model card links to another set of quants called static quants. Now I don't know when they say quant if it's referring to to quantitative analysis, quantitative finance. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these repos. First time looking at this. So some Hugging Face, LLM, C4AI Command R plus. Static quants are available. If you're unsure how to use the bloke, read me for more details. Provided quants. This is where it gets interesting in terms of, is this connected back to this article from within the interns of Brevan uh, itself? Okay, so Brevan Howard. Okay, so again, let me see, because there's some follow up here. Uh, Again, I don't know if there's people in comments that want to go over this. Please do. iMatrix quants were introduced a couple of months back, recommended over static quants. Okay, are there any disadvantages? Now, I don't know if this is internal talk among whoever on Reddit. I tried IQ4NL, slightly smaller in size, but inference speed seems to basically the same. iMatrix is the better way. Still use release and static. So again, I don't know if there's any connection here between the two, but I'll put the link on my blog. Speaking of, if you want to know more about stuff like this, one thing I would encourage you to do is to take a look at the Learn tab here, quantlabsnet.com. I've got a free ebook on how a lot of these firms, these HFT firms, build out their C++ or HFT operations, high frequency trading with C++. You get that there. And now what I'm doing is I'm starting up, or been pushing out a group on the site here for Quant Labs Net Public. Okay, so um, that's something I'm just ramping up now recently with all the news that I cover. But it's interesting with this type of article, and maybe, just maybe, this kind of connection. But let me know if you know anything about it. All right.